Hi, everybody. It's Jessica here. I am going to do my famous person speech on Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks is one of my favorite artists, solo and also in a band. I really enjoy her music and her style, and I think she's had a very interesting life and kind of a tumultuous career. So, we're going to talk about that. So Stevie Nicks is a Grammy Award nominee and winner. She has been nominated both as a solo artist and as a member of Fleetwood Mac. She has only won a Grammy though in being nominated with Fleetwood Mac. So she's never won a solo Grammy, only a group. So who is Stevie Nicks? She is best known as an American singer-songwriter and producer known for her time with Fleetwood Mac, and she was honorifically given the name the Queen of Rock and Roll by Rolling Stone. She was born May 26, 1948 in Phoenix, Arizona. Legally, her name is Stephanie. The name Stevie actually came from the fact that when she was a child, she used to say TD. So that's how she came up with the nickname Stevie. And she is of German, English, and Irish ancestry. She started in music very young as a 4-year old with her grandfather. He used to sing duets with her. So, a few significant dates in her history. The first one being May 1964. For Stevie's 16th birthday, she received her first guitar, and at this point in her life, she would go on to write her first song with it. It's said in her senior year of high school, which I'm estimating to be 1964 to 65 to 66, based on her birth date, is when she would meet her future partner in music and in romance and musician Lindsey Buckingham. In mid 1967, she joined the band Fritz with Buckingham. Buckingham had this group with a few other members. They were going off to college, so he asked Nicks to join him in this endeavor. From 1968 to 1970, Fritz opened up for Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, and Stevie has been very vocal about how she got a lot of her style and she really learned a lot about performing and artistry from watching Janis Joplin. In 1974, Mick Fleetwood heard a track by Buckingham and Nicks, and he invited Buckingham to join him in a band. Buckingham declined this, and he said that he and Nicks were a package deal, and if he was going to accept one, he would have to accept the other. And in 1975, Fleetwood Mac reached worldwide success with their self-titled album. It's interesting to note that between the times of about 70 to 74, kind of before they started in with Mick Fleetwood, both Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham were going to go to college. And with her father's blessing, she dropped out of college and pursued music. And in the early 70s is when she really started with her cocaine use and abuse. She was told that it was recreational and it wasn't going to harm her by people she was staying with at the time. And at that time in the early 70s, also, she was having a lot of issues with Buckingham and their relationship. And if anybody has ever heard the song Landslide, which is one of her, I think, very iconic songs, I think everybody knows it. She wrote this in 1972 when they were separated. Buckingham was off doing other music projects. And she wrote this in Aspen about their tumultuating, deteriorating relationship. She did eventually stop using cocaine in the early 80s. She went to rehab for 30 days and was able to kick the habit. And she's been clean and sober since, and she has had to use other medication to help, but no more cocaine use for her. So not only was she a prominent member of Fleetwood Mac, but she also has a very impressive solo career. She released her first solo album in 1981, Belladonna. And this was after she was writing for Fleetwood Mac, performing for Fleetwood Mac, touring for Fleetwood Mac, and then using spare time to write for herself and perform demos all throughout 1979 and 1980 while they were on tour. They were doing Tusk, which I believe was their third album they put out as a group. And then she released her second album not too long after, 2 years later in 1983. Stevie Nicks has a total of 8 solo release albums credited to her discography. She also has 7 with the band Fleetwood Mac and one which is just a duo album that she released with Lindsey Buckingham. So she has a ton of music in her discography. And Stevie Nicks is very well known for her vocal style and her personal style. She's kind of got this witchy bohemian style going on, and her vocals are very feathery and kind of rough. I think anybody knows she has a very well-known voice. And that is a rough, quick synopsis on Stevie Nicks.